SQL Applications of Maths 2024 question 9. You must fit the spreadsheet Esme's mortgage. Complete parts A and C and then complete it in the letterbox provided. Okay, Esme is building an extension to her house. She's been offered a £25,000 mortgage with an effective annual rate of interest of 3.5% over 5 years. Open the mortgage worksheet, complete the mortgage schedule to determine the level of monthly repayment amount and final repayment amount. Okay, so there's a spreadsheet, 25,000 annual, so we need to go monthly, so that equals 1 plus the annual to the power of 1 over 12, and then you need to take away 1. So you get 0.29%. Level monthly repayment, no idea. This is a goal seek question, so let's just make it up, £300. And let's start filling in our schedule. So that equals this one, but that's outside the table, so you need dollars. Interest content of repayment equals round, because we're going to do it to 2 decimal places, and it's monthly effective rate times the mortgage outstanding, 2 decimal places, but we want dollars on anything outside the box. So $3, $9, that's looking good. Capital content of repayment, well that's just repayment minus interest, they're in the boxes, so no dollars. And mortgage outstanding just equals mortgage outstanding minus capital. And how many payments? 60. So now we can just copy that down for 60 months. And we want to do a goal seek. So we want to make this 0. So we're going data, what if analysis, goal seek. We want to change that to 0 by changing cell, well, the level monthly repayment, of course. So OK, that'll run its little thing, press OK. But as per usual, although it says 415.18, that's actually been rounded or truncated. So I would round that or take away the 9, it's up to you. You can go up to 8 or down to 7, it makes no difference. I'm just going to make it 8. So there's my actual repayment, it'll adjust itself, and that means my final payment's off by this much. So that means I need to take away 0.06 from 415.18, so minus 0.06. And then we get back to 0, is what we need. So 45412 is our final repayment. Either type it in or reference the cell. Okay, back to here. Esme needs new building insurance once the extension is complete. She's choosing between 2 options. This one, cost per year is £216.94 for £350 excess, or £285 to £195 for £100 excess. Stated one advantage of having a high excess amount on your insurance policy. Well, even just if you didn't know, if you look at it, a higher excess is giving you a smaller cost per year. So that's all you need to type. Higher X, I'll just get rid of that. Excess gives a smaller cost per year. So that's 1. That's an advantage. Part 2, one of the windows in Esme's house is broken. She says whether to make a claim. Explain why Esme may choose not to make a claim using her insurance policy. There's lots of reasons for that. It might mean that her premiums go up in later years because she's made a claim, or it might be because the excess is too high and it's cheaper just to fix a window without making a claim. It could make her premiums more expensive in later years if she claims. It could be a reasonable option, or maybe you would say that it may be cheaper to replace the windows herself rather than paying the excess. Could be something like that as well. Okay, the maximum monthly repayment amount allowed by the lender is £550. Esme chooses to reduce the term of her mortgage by increasing her maximum monthly payments to the maximum amount. Open the increased worksheet, complete the increased payment schedule for the reduced term and calculate the final repayment amount. Determine how much money this would save Esme over the term of her mortgage. So there's the increased payments amount, 25,000, 3.5%, annual, so we can work out the monthly as usual. 1 plus this power 1 over 12 minus 1 is our monthly interest. So how long is this for again? Oh, we don't know. Interesting. So we're actually going to have to guess or work out how long it takes her and do a monthly payment. So we're just going to copy down until we get 0. That's interesting. So the repayment is always going to equal this, and that's dollared. And we're not goal seeking this is a repayment. Interest content of repayment, as per usual, equals round. And we're going to do this times the monthly effective interest to 2 decimal places, and make sure you put dollars on anything outside the table. Capital content, that equals the repayment minus the interest, and mortgage outstanding equals the mortgage minus the capital. So now all we're going to do is copy that down and see what happens. We're not going to go above 60, of course, because we already know it takes 60 months on the previous one. You're going to have to keep doing it until, so you can actually see after that amount, we've went too far. Because you're starting to get minuses. So we can just take them away, and that means that the repayment in month 49 is just 427.19, and you'll get your 0 there. So there you go. 427.19 is the final repayment amount. Determine how much money this will save Esme over the term of her loan. All we need to do is do a sum here. So let's do that at the side. Equals sum all of these. So there's the sum for that one, and the mortgage before equals sum of all of them. So there's your two totals. So we could just do equals this box minus this box. It's not worked, has it? If it doesn't work for you, just check the number 2725074. 27250 minus, let's just click that box now. We'll give it 42355. Could have also done this just by doing the difference in the interest, but there we are. And then the last bit of the question, print in mortgage worksheet in value and formula and increase in value and formula. I hope you know how to do this, but by now there's your value view, and you just go to formulas and show formulas and then print it in formula view. You just do that for both of them. Value view, formula view, and we're done there. This video is sponsored by Lecky, and they are offering viewers of this channel 30% off of any of their books. All you have to do is use the code Clelland Maths, and the link to their books is down below. Now let's look at a couple of their books to highlight. We've got National 5 Maths and Higher Maths, and these are complete revision and practice. 2 books in one. We cover the whole course. Here's a random page, for instance, working simultaneous equations algebraically. You can see how good that book is and how clear it looks. But also at the end, practice exam papers that look exactly like the SQA exam papers that are published. Discount code Clelland Maths. Click the link to order now. SQA Higher Applications Maths 2023 question 11. This one's about Ramsey's loan, and we have to use the spreadsheet. So it says Ramsey applies to take out a loan of £6,000 with a term of 3 years from a bank. 11 monthly repayments are made at the end of each month. The effective annual interest rate is 6.3%. Open the bank loan worksheet and complete it to determine the level repayment amount and the final repayment amount when determining the total interest paid over the term of the loan. Okay, so monthly effective interest rate equals 1 plus $C$7 to the power of, well, it's 1 over 12. 1 over 12. And then we need to take away 1 again to get it back to the interest rate. So minus 1. And we get 0.510%. The loan pay was 3 years. The monthly payment amount, well, we don't know that, so we're going to do a goal seek in a minute to find it out. So let's just pick a monthly repayment amount of, say, £200 for the sake of argument. Okay, so the repayment is equal to $C$10. equals $C, $10. Interest content of repayment. So the interest content is equal to, we'll obviously have to do the monthly interest times the loan outstanding. So that equals the monthly interest, which is $C, $8, times the loan outstanding, which is just this one here, F16. We want that to change over time, but we don't want that to be any more than 2 decimal places. So we're going to round that to 2 decimal places. So comma 2, press equals, and make sure we get 2 decimal places. Now we don't need to round the rest, because once I've rounded one of them, the rest will be 2 decimal places anyway. So the capital content of repayment is equal to the repayment minus the interest content, and then the loan outstanding is equal to the previous loan outstanding minus the capital content, how much you've paid off. So we can press equals there. So we've got our formulas filled in. And now we need to copy and paste all these down. So let's just highlight all these cells and go all the way down to 36 weeks. And you'll see that at the end, it's completely wrong because we just picked a random number. So we need a goal seek to change that cell. So we're going to highlight that cell and we're going to go to Data, Hot Enough Analysis, Insert, Goal Seek. We're going to set that value to 0 and we want to change our repayment amount, which is up here. So press OK. Eventually it'll do the sum for us. And you'll notice that at the end we get 0. And you would maybe think you're done there, except the fact that when you do a goal seek, it doesn't really care. It's not rounded that for you. And you only want it to be 2 decimal places. So we're going to have to adjust that to make it 2 decimal places. So that gives me 182.87 in here. And then our final repayment amount will need to be adjusted as well because we've got this extra 7 pence hanging about. We don't want that 7 pence. To deal with that, we just add the 7 pence onto 182.87. So for our final repayment amount, it equals $C, $10 plus 7 pence, which is 182.94. So adjusting that final amount is 182.94. We can either reference it or just write 182.94. I'm going to reference it. C11 equals $C, $11. And now we've got 0 here, which is excellent. And to get our total interest paid, that's just the sum of all our interest payments. So the sum of here all the way down to there. Close the brackets, press equals, and we get 583.39. Ramsey's application for this loan was rejected. State a reason why a bank might reject a loan application. So let's just put this answer in here. We might reject it, but the main reason is to do a credit check and they might have a poor credit rating. So I'm just going to write poor credit rating as my answer. Or you can mention the affordability of the loan. Okay, let's move to the next question. Ramsey decides to borrow money from a loan company. Then the company offers Ramsey £6,000 for 3 months with a fixed level monthly payment of £250. Complete the loan repayment schedule to find the annual effective rate of interest, determine the difference in the interest paid between the two loans, and be able to print it off. So there's our loan company spreadsheet. £6,000. We don't know the interest rates, but we do know it's 3 years and it's £250. And we have to work out the total interest paid and the difference in interest paid. So the repayment we can put in here is equal to $C, $10. Now, annual effective interest rate, since we don't know it, we might as well just make it up. So I'm just going to say 10. And then the monthly interest rate is going to be the formula as normal, equals 1 plus $C, $7 to the power of 1 over 12, take away 1. So there's our interest there. So the interest content of repayment, that equals, remember we need to round, and it's going to be $C, $8, the monthly interest times the loan outstanding, which is this cell here. And we want to round that to 2 decimal places because it's money. We've rounded that one, so we don't need to round anything else. Capital content is just going to equal the repayment minus the interest. Press equals again. And the loan outstanding is just going to equal the loan outstanding it was minus the capital content. And we can press equals. And now we can copy that down to 36 months. And it fills it all in, but obviously it's all wrong because at the end, it shouldn't load anything. So we want to do a goal seek. So we go to data, what if analysis and goal seek. We want to set that to value 0, but this time we want to change the annual interest rate. So this value here. So press OK. After a little while, it will change the annual effective rate to 32.61%, and therefore it will change his monthly interest rate to 2.38%. Now his annual interest rate is not money, so we don't need to round that to 2 decimal places or anything else. We'll just leave it as it is. It's 32.61 in a bunch, and the monthly interest rate is going to be 2.38 in a bunch, but that's fine. We can just leave that as it is. To get the total interest paid, we just need to do a sum, remember, sum of all the interest. So starting here and going all the way down to the bottom. And that gives us £3,000 of interest is paying. Wow, that's an expensive loan. If it's in total interest, well, that's just going to equal this cell minus back to our bank loan. Total interest paid in this one was this one. Press equals, and that gives me 241661. And that's the answer to the question. So again, we're just printing this bank loan worksheet in value view and formula view. So just a reminder, you go File, Print. There's the page, but we want it on one sheet only. So we go to Fit Sheet on one page. Check if what one looks better. I think that one looks better. And then we just print that. Now we want Formula View. So you go to Formula, you go to Show Formulas, and then you would go and print that again as well, so that you can see all the formulas that you've put in. And that's us done.
We have Case of Maths 2022, question 9. You must have fit a spreadsheet Q9 car repayments when answering this question. Okay. Maria is buying a car for £15,000. She's arranged a loan for the full amount from the bank to be paid back with level monthly repayments for 48 months. The annual effective interest rate is 9.5%, with the complete loan repayment schedule to determine the level repayment amount and final repayment amount. Okay, so here is the spreadsheet. We've got some boxes to fill in and then find a final repayment. So first of all, the monthly effective interest. To work out monthly, you start off with equals this cell plus 1 to the power of 112. And then we need to take away 1 at the end again. And you get 0.76%. Monthly repayment amount, well, we don't know it, so let's just make a number up. 300. Final repayment amount we'll come back to. So we now need to fill in our table. Okay, so our repayment, well, that equals our monthly repayment, but we need dollars around that because it's outside the table. So $C, $11. Our interest, well, that equals, we need to round because it's 2 decimal places for money. And it's going to be our monthly effective interest rate times the loan outstanding. Now, we want that to 2 decimal places, but don't forget anything outside the table should have dollars in it. So $C, $9. Make sure you double check. Inside the table, no dollars. Capital content of repayment, well, that's just equal to your repayment minus your interest. So there we are there. And your loan outstanding, well, that equals the previous loan outstanding minus whatever the capital is that you paid. So we can just do that. We wouldn't need to round this one because these ones used the figures already, but we're rounded, so we're fine. And then we'll just extend our table down, 48 months. There you go, just make sure it stops at 48, if not drag up or down. And you'll notice that the final box is not 0 because we just made up 300. So we do a goal seek. We go what if analysis goal seek. We want to change that to 0 by changing the monthly repayment, that box there. So press equals or enter and you'll notice it does it for you. It looks like it's done it well. However, look at our monthly repayment. It says 37406, but it's not rounded it, it's just displaying that. So we need to change that here. You can either change it to 37405 or 37406. It doesn't matter. Basically, we use the 06 because you can round up 8. So I'm just going to do the same. So there you go, 06. Now it will change everything except there'll be an extra or a little bit less here. So to adjust for that, click this box, check what that says, minus 0.07. So click minus 0.07. If it's a positive number here, put add instead, press enter. You'll notice that now jumps to 0 and you've got a final repayment amount of 373.99. So you can just put that in this box. And we're done there. Okay, the car dealership has their own finance options. Pay £300 a month for 48 months, return the car. Or additional charges will apply if mileage exceeds 24,000. Option 2, pay £300 a month for 48 months, keep the car with an additional payment of 5,000 in the final month. We'll have to open the car finance and complete the car finance repayment schedule to find the annual effective interest rate for option 2. So there's the car finance one there. So annual effective interest rate is what we're trying to find. We don't know it, so we're just going to guess. So 40. I don't know. Pick anything you want. Just don't pick anything too small. Okay, again, monthly effective interest rate. So that equals 1 plus this to the power over 12 because it's a month. Take away 1. And we get our monthly. Loan pay is 48, monthly is this, additional is this. So our repayment equals $C, $11, which is 300 this time, and that's not a goal seek. Interest content of repayment, same as before, $C, $9, because that's the monthly, times the loan outstanding. And we've not rounded, of course. So we go back in our formula if you forget that and go round 2. And we get this number, 42654. So the capital equals the repayment minus the interest. And the loan outstanding equals the loan outstanding minus the capital. Now notice with me, I've picked quite a high percentage here. Now you get some negatives. Do not worry your heads with this. Just go through it and do the goal seek and you'll be fine. So now I copy, drag and drop down for 48 months, but there's one thing I need to remember, that additional payment. So it's an additional payment of 5,000 in the final month. So I'll just quickly change that to say plus 5,000. You notice my goal seek again, I have to change this. So it's what if goal seek, change F63 to value 0. But this time we're not changing the repayment, we're changing the annual effective interest. After a little while we get 11.05%. Notice that says dash or 0. It depends on how the spreadsheet's set up, but that is definitely 0, so we're good. You might be wondering, well, on the previous spreadsheet, we went back up and we checked this cell and we go, oh, there's all these extra numbers. Do we do this for this? We do not do this for this. This is a percent. If we change that, that means we change her payments, but she's agreed to pay 300 and she's agreed to pay 5,300. That is her payment. So they'll quote to her 11.05%, but they'll do it as 11.04648, so it all works out on their end. Key point is, money you change where goal seek back to two decimal places. Other stuff, generally speaking, you just leave it as it is. So C, state 2 reasons why Maria might decide to purchase a car using the bank loan instead of car dealership finance options. So if we look at the finance options given to us, option 1 is pay 3,000 and return the car, or she might exceed the miles. So she might not want to do that because she has to return the car. Option 2, she has to pay an additional 5,000 in the final month, so it's not the same monthly payment each month, whereas the bank loan is. So that's all you have to write, really. So Maria will own the car outright after 48 months without needing to pay an additional £5,000, would be one good reason. If Maria does not want to keep the car, then it is risky, because if she does more than she will have to pay a penalty. Let's just look at the interest rates. On the bank loan, it's 9.5%. On the car finance deal for keeping the car, it's 11.05%. So the bank loan's actually a lower interest rate. So you could say that as well. Bank loan has a lower interest rate. And there you go, we're done there. It now says value view and formula view, and then print your worksheet. So let's have a look at the worksheets. You've got bank loan, so you just got to file, print it in value view and formula view. To get it into formula view, you just go to formulas and show formulas, and you do the same for car finance. You print this as normal, and then formulas, show formulas, and print your formulas, and we're done there.